Come on, let's go. Let's go. Let's get here. Looks like we're live. Looks like we're live, and we are. Hello, everybody. Please let me know if you can see me and if you can hear me. Let me know. Let me know. I'm using my wireless audio. Check, check, check. Let's see if it works. I've never used it going live before, but we're going to see. I hope everyone's okay. I see a lot of familiar faces and even some new ones in the chat. Let's see, as everyone hops on here, the notification just went out to 11,300 and something people. Here we go. Maybe we're here. Can you hear me? Check, check. Good evening, everyone. I know that people are hopping on now, and it's an unconventional night, is it not? Tuesday night. I'm so happy that you hopped on. I know that there are other vloggers that have their regularly scheduled program on Tuesday night. I hate to take away from them because I'm usually watching them, but here we go. We had to make up time, right? I had to share all of this great news with you as a lot of you continue to hop on tonight. We're going to have a blast. I have a lot to share with you. We just got off the Carnival Horizon, our first time on board the Carnival Horizon on Sunday, July 31st. I've got the hits and misses for you. I've got questions mixed in so that I'm not just talking the whole time. We're going to let everybody hop on first. As you do, please let us all know where you're from. If it's your first time to join us, and we have grown a lot since we last went live, which was 12 days ago, I guess it was. We've gained over 500 subscribers in 12 days. So there's a lot of new faces here. If it's your first time, be sure to tell us. It's my first time here. We will try to say hello. I will try to see it. The chat is already active, though. I see it active. But if it's your first time, let us know. We hope you're here. If you're not a subscriber yet, we hope that you subscribe. And please like the video up front. I'm so bad at sharing that every single time. So I wanted to get it out of the way up front. As Mr. Lido Tito says, good evening with the super chat right there. Mike, Michelle, it was an absolute pleasure. It was an honor, honestly, to cruise with you. We had an absolute blast. We hope you did too. We hope you had as much fun as we did. I don't know how you could, though, but I hope you did. We had a blast. Thank you so much for that super chat. And that's a way to support us. A lot of people ask, what is this super chat thing? First off, do I have to super chat? No, of course you don't have to. But as Pat Underwood shows there, it does support us. Pat, thank you so much for that super chat. What it allows you to do, especially in this forum, as comments fly by, it grabs my attention first off. You can share a note if you have a question, if you have a comment, a thank you, whatever you want to get off your chest or get off your mind, you can put it right there. But ultimately, it does support us. It allows us to keep doing what we're doing, to buy the equipment that we have, to keep cruising. And so it is much appreciated. As Jeremy right there, Jeremy says, thanks for all you do. Jeremy, thanks for all you do, brother. You are a great friend, a mentor, and you're honest with me. And I appreciate that so, so much. Jen, how about that? Jen says, welcome back. Missed y'all. We missed all of you. We tried to bring you content. We hope you enjoyed the live content. The internet was awful. We hope you enjoyed it, though. We do. I see some familiar faces. I first off have to say this. To all those that we cruised with, and there was a large group this time, thank you so much. Rachel, of course, was there. Rachel brought her friend to cruise with us. We enjoyed her. Steve and Christy were there. Mike and Michelle were there. Rebecca and Dale were there. I'm trying to remember everybody. Coach and Brent were there. There was a huge group. There was. And I have to thank all of you for cruising with us. We had an absolute blast. I'm going to look over now and see Ember. Of course, Ember just had her birthday, and she's cruising all summer long. She's getting ready for school, though, I guess. It's great to see. Doreen is here. Teresa, I can't call out everybody. I see Jimbo as well. Steve is on here. Tony G, 27 days until the Carnival Radiance. No testing, we're hoping. I see the Z show. Z, I know you were supposed to go live tonight. You moved it to earlier tonight, and I'm catching up on things, or would have joined them. Sorry. Nancy and Debbie, I see you. Trent, of course, from California. Randy from San Antonio, Texas. Randy, it's good to see you. Monty It's great to see you here as well. I see Ronnie. I see a lot of you here. I can't keep scrolling up or we can't go forward. But if you have questions, of course, let us know. Amanda has hopped on. I just saw she hopped on as well. She's going to be in the chat until hopefully maybe the kids go to bed and she can come up here. But we're glad that she's here with us. Here we go. Here's a question. We just sailed the Carnival Breeze, then swapped ships to sail on the Carnival Vista. Is that a back-to-back or a side-by-side cruise? That is a side-by-side. If you cruise one ship, you get off and you cruise another ship at the same port. That is a side-by-side. Very close to a back-to-back, but just heard side-by-side on the trip. You're exactly right. Side-by-side. It's just as good as a back-to-back, right? You get two cruises there. Thank you, Chris, for the welcome back. Just booked the first cruise since 2018 out of Galveston. You're going to have a blast. 439 days. You're going to have fun. I promise you that. To all the teachers, Mr. Lito Tito says, to all the teachers and staff, hope all of you have a great school year and get some cruising in as well. I agree with that. There were a ton of teachers on the ship, and most of them went back yesterday in our group and just in the ship, and entirely. Amanda's getting ready to go back as well. Lito Tito, thank you for calling that out. Teaching is an admirable profession. All of you work day in and day out to make a difference on your kids' lives. Hopefully you have a cruise booked, Thanksgiving, Christmas, spring break sometime. I hope you do because you all deserve it. Brad's got a question as well. Yes, Amber, Amanda is on. Hopefully she gets up here. And Amber, hopefully we can cruise. We got to get together and see our 2023 dates very, very soon, but hopefully we can cruise. Question, I was so confused about the Carnival news today. The Bahamas and Grand Cayman says that you need to take a test by cruise while the airplanes are not requiring it. Brad, you're exactly right. And the argument that you give there is the same argument that cruise lines, the cruise industry, the Cruise Lines International Association, the CLIA, they've been using the same argument. Why do cruise companies have to go by this set of rules when all-inclusive resorts and airlines have to go by this set of rules? So you're exactly right there. The testing, it's going to be a mess for a while. It is. We see Carnival change some protocols today, and it's because of local islands, right? Local countries saying, whoa, 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 you can't do that. So Carnival came out and said, well, if you're cruising to Bermuda, if you're cruising to the Bahamas, if you're cruising to Grand Cayman, even if it's a 3, 4, 5-day cruise, you're going to have to be tested for now. Just wait. We're going to see changes, I think, very rapidly these next several weeks, especially cases are starting to rise. And so while the CDC has backed off, some of these islands and these governments have said, let's hold off for a second. So the best thing to do, number one, is to keep up with the cruise line that you're cruising with. I will always point to them first, right? I'm never going to say, come to this guy for your information. Go to your cruise line first. When we get the news, of course, we take the news, we share it with you factually, and we see how we share with you how that news changes cruising and changes the industry. So follow both of us, but of course, follow those that you're cruising with as well. Michelle's on board as well. We had a blast. And what about the other cruise lines? What are they doing? Jen asked. The other cruise lines, if it's that question's in regard to testing, of course, like I said, the chat's going fast. Royal Caribbean is doing about the same as Carnival. Virgin Voyages, of course, is doing the same. But I wondered about Virgin Voyages because they only go on short cruises. They only go to the Bahamas, and they're okay. So it's interesting to see that cruise lines are having different reception from some of these governments. We're going to see what happens here. Go to Mardi Gras and the Jubilee. Yes, booked for next year. We're excited about that. We don't have Mardi Gras. We do have Celebration and Jubilee. We're excited about that. And you're trying to get to that platinum status. It's worth it. The laundry service alone is worth it. We always use that laundry service. I want to know about the Japanese steakhouse. Doreen says we were on the Panorama in April, and it shows sold out every day. Doreen, book Bonsai Teppanyaki. We're going to talk about it in just a second. It was a highlight of our trip. Book it if you can. Question, Jason says, again, these are just random comments. I can't keep up with everything. How packed was the ship? The Liberty was slam packed July the 22nd through the 25th. The Horizon was slam, bam, jam. Wrapped it up in a can. Sardines packed. It was packed. There's no other way to put it. Capacity was over 99%, I was told, by guest services. Occupancy, which remember, occupancy means as there two people staying in cabins. If there's more than 2 people, there's a chance there that you can get over 100% occupancy. They would not tell me that number. They did say it was over 100%. I don't know if it was 105, 110. It was packed, but I'm going to tell you a way to get around a packed ship for some ships in the Carnival fleet, and of course other ideas here in just a second in our review. I'm just trying, of course, to say hello to everyone first. RG, we do not cruise Carnival only. That's a good question. We cruise Carnival a lot. They have treated us very, very well over the years. They really have. And for a long time, I said I have no reason to leave Carnival, but we're leaving Carnival. We're going somewhere else. We're trying NCL in October. And we've got Royal Caribbean booked in 2023. So we're excited about that, RG. If you have a question about another cruise line, I invite you to ask it. We have a lot of Islanders here, 105, 106 right now on board. And if you have questions about other cruise lines, if I don't know the answer, I promise you someone right here does. Also, I invite you to go ahead and like this stream if you have not already. Give it a thumbs up so that other people who are looking for something to watch will come across this feed. When are we booked for the Jubilee? November I think it's 18th of next year. It's the first U.S. sailing. Ember will be there as well. Lito Tito and Michelle will be there. Rachel and Charles will be there. And so many others are booked already on there. So, yes. Hello, Howie Cruise. Antonio is here as well. The Horizon was great. The Havana area definitely made a packed ship. Great. You all are the best. Thank you again for the warm welcomes. Antonio, it was awesome to meet you. We had a great week. And you're right about that Havana experience. It made the packed ship seem not so packed. Thank you so much for saying hello to us. We crossed paths many times. I always enjoy the time that we got to spend together. And I thank you so very much. Hope you had a great cruise. I think you did. How can Margaritaville at Sea sell no testing? GH, that is a great question. I've wondered the same thing. I've tried to look it up. Matter of fact, I've reached out to some officials that I know of, and I've tried to ask that question. I've tried to pose the question. I haven't got a response, but I agree. It seems like cruise lines are being treated differently. You're selling to the same place for about the same amount of time, but they're being treated differently right now. So we're going to see how that happens here as we go the next few days and weeks. Can you go view the control room where the captain and his crew control the ship? Kevin, you cannot right now across any ship that I know of in the industry. Some cruise lines have a program where you can take tours and go on the bridge. Right now, it's a no. It's a no-go. Yep. You're right, Jen. Virgin's going with it too. Let me scroll up here before we get started. Let's see. I don't want to miss anything, but I know I'm going to. And by the way, it's sweet tea. Sweet tea tonight is what it is. I missed some sweet tea, so I got it back. We had some grilled salmon, some green beans tonight with some sweet tea. I missed that. Let's get this, full ship tour would be awesome. It would be. Let's get this review going. Again, I'm going to hit on some things, hits, misses, what made our trip. I'm going to ask some questions along the way. If you have a question, make sure you type the word question. Type it in all caps if you want to. Shout it at me. If I see it, I'll try to answer it. If not, someone else will probably catch it. I can promise you that. It was a great cruise. Amanda's online saying best cruise ever. It was good. It may have been the best one, honestly. Out of 20 cruises, it may have been the best one ever. That's how good it was. Not everything was perfect, though. I'll always be honest with you. Let's get started. Here we go. The hits. The service that we had on board the Carnival Horizon was probably the best service we had ever received on any cruise ever. I mean that. Not just saying it. I'm not saying it to delight people. If you are booked in the next several months, 3, 4, 5 months, get ready, honestly, to have the best service that you've ever had. This is in the dining rooms, the buffet. Our cabin steward was unbelievable, which it was his last cruise, his last week on board. He was able to get off the ship. He was going home the 31st. So maybe that's why he was so good and in a good mood. He knew he was going home. The bartenders from The Alchemist, some of the best in the fleet. I was like, how do you pair these people together? They're the best that you got. Guys, Pig and Anchor blew me away. We saw Oscar from Mexico. I don't know if any of you have cruised with Oscar from Mexico. He's been with Carnival almost 10 years. We cruised with him in 2015. He was an Alchemist then. He still is in the alchemy world sometimes, but he was in the Pig and Anchor this cruise. And I didn't know he was going to be there. It was an awesome surprise. It was. And then, so all the bartenders there. Christian was there as well and took care of us. And then the Havana area, the Havana bar, again, you can go to the inside bar. Anyone can. The outside part's reserved for those with Havana rooms. Oh, they took care of us. Alberto was unreal. Alberto was the man. He took such good care of us. Honestly, maybe the best bartender that I've ever had. He wouldn't let you get up and order a drink. He brought you the drink. He knew what you wanted. If I've had an issue over several cruises when I order a drink and I order water, they don't bring the water sometimes. Something small, but it's things like that. He would bring a water and you didn't have to ask. He just tried to take care of you. And I remember a couple of times I wanted a Gatorade and they didn't have Gatorades, and he'd walk down to the coffee bar and get me a Gatorade, even though I said, no, don't worry about it. I'll just take the water instead. It's fine. He would go the extra mile. It was awesome. It was. Bloody Marys, yes, were crazy good from Pig and Anchor. The bacon they put on there. I figured out why we have a bacon shortage, guys. I understand now they only serve bacon every other day on the buffet. It's because all the bacon in Carnival's fleet is that guy's Pig and Anchor. You get like 3 or 4 full strips of bacon on the Bloody Mary. That was fun to see. It really was. As Lito Tito says, Alberto was great. Question, I know I'm on a diet, but how is the nacho burger at Guys? Z-Show, you're on a diet, but you're going to have to break the diet because it was pretty dang good. I can promise you that. Yep. Amber, you find your good bartenders, and you are golden. They make a difference. Roger on the Dream. Oh, my gosh, Roger. We cruised with Roger on the Vista. He was in the Havana area now. Amber, is Roger still in the lobby area? Was he at the lobby bar on the Dream? Roger is unbelievable. He's going to be on there in the entire year. If you're cruising the Dream, look for Roger. Question here from Brad. Will some ports of call in the Caribbean, Canada, and Bermuda change protocols like testing and mask by late this year or next year? Brad, I think we're underway here. I think some countries are holding out to see what this latest wave does, even though cases are up, but cases are mild, right? So I think by the end of the year, we're going to be okay. I don't think vaccinations are going away per se. I think testing, mask, I think that's the route we're going, and we're in August. We are already in August. I think it's going to take the rest of this year to let that play out, especially we're talking about short cruises right now and testing. I think we're still a little ways, 60, 90 days away from removing testing from longer cruises. So I think by the end of the year or Q1 of next year, January, February, March, we'll move away from that. But vaccinations, I think, are still going to be there for a while. Yep. We just sailed on the Vista for the first time. Is that ship usually that warm? The Lido Marketplace was horrible. Bring a fan. My biggest advice to you is to bring a fan. For your room, bring a fan. Bring a personal fan that you can carry around. One of my negatives, my biggest negatives, and please, Amanda, Lido Tito, Michelle, Steve is on here as well. Rachel's here. I see Rachel as well. The ship was hot. The Horizon was warm. I mean, I'm talking not 74. I'm talking 76, 78. I was in the casino the last night, actually, and I was cashing out my chips. And the cashier was sweating. Hey, visible sweat on his forehead. I said, how hot is it in here? Oh, he said, it's hot. It's hot. I said, no, do you know the temperature? And nobody was behind me. He said, hang on just a second. He walked out of sight, came back in sight. He said, 82. 82. That's hot. I mean, to me, that's hot. I guess it's subjective. But yes, it was warm. It was very, very warm on the Horizon. I've been on the Vista before, and she wasn't that warm, but the Horizon it stayed hot. Please, everyone who cruised with us, chime in. Bermuda requires everyone to have a negative test. U.S. Army Combat Medic, you're exactly right. And to look, Kevin, I know it sounds bad, but I don't even know what we booked. I don't know, so I'll have to look at that. I'll get back with you. Roger, Pat, he's been in the lobby bar. Ember will have to confirm that. He was in June anyway. Super chat to be entered into a drawing tomorrow. Amanda, thank you for reminding us. We already have several that have super chatted already, but every time you super chat, you're entered into win some Island Time merch from our spread shop. The spread shop is in the description of this video. The way it works, you super chat tonight. I will draw a name tomorrow, random person. You go on the website, you pick out what you want, from a hat to a shirt to whatever it is. There's hoodies and all. Backpack. Michelle brought her backpack. You pick it out, send me your address. I buy it for you. I ship it to you. That's how it goes. Yep. Let's see, 82 degrees is hot inside. Yeah, you're exactly right, Howie Cruz. I was sweating, and some people sweat in the casino anyway because they're a little bit nervous and anxious, right? It was hot. It really was. Our room was cool. Steve, you're exactly right on that. Our room, and that's a good call out right there. It is. David, thank you so much for that super chat. We appreciate it. You're in the drawing. As U.S. Army Combat Medic, you're there as well. Steve, good call out. Rooms were cool. Our room was cool. We could sleep at night, but public areas of the ship were hot. Thank you, Steve, for pointing that out. Question. So vaccinations are not mandatory. DJ, they are mandatory, although right now most cruise lines are going with 90%, only 90% vaccinated passengers instead of 95%. So they still are mandatory for most, almost all. If so, what to do if unvaccinated depends on the cruise line. Okay, you can apply for an exemption. 18 of us cruised December 5th on the Freedom. I assume that's Carnival Freedom. It could be Freedom of the Seas, though. But if you're not vaccinated, you book your cruise. You have to pay for it, and then there's a form. If you'll message me, email me, I can send you this form that after you've booked your cruise and paid for it in full, you fill out this form. And hopefully you can get that. We have Peggy Smith as well with the super chat. Thank you so much, Peggy, for that super chat. We appreciate it. Laura Benson right behind her. Laura, I wonder if I know you. I know a lot of Bensons. I have always cruised on Carnival, but I have a cruise booked on Royal Caribbean in December. How do the two lines compare? I'm going to answer that question. Amber, thank you so much for that super chat as well. We appreciate that. We appreciate the support so much. It means a lot. It really does. It keeps us going. These live videos and super chats are so important to us, and they really do help pay the bills. I can promise you that. Laura, let's get to your question. How do the two lines compare? Royal Caribbean. First off, I want to tell you this. Don't think that you're cheating on Carnival. I'm a huge fan of Carnival. I love Carnival. I'm very dedicated and spent lots of money with Carnival over the years, but don't think that you're cheating on them. Royal Caribbean is a great cruise line as well. Don't let anyone tell you that. Royal Caribbean, a lot of people will agree, have better ships, nicer ships, marble floors, not tile floors. The walls have better decor. Joni, thank you for that super chat. We appreciate that. And Samuel is here as well, testing tomorrow for our cruise this weekend. Joni, you're going to have a blast. Let me know what ship. Glad you guys had a great time. We appreciate that. Laura, I would say Royal Caribbean has an edge even on food, people say. But when it comes to staff and crew, it's hands down. People who have sailed both say that Carnival's crew is impeccable. It's not even a contest. Every single time, Carnival crew wins it. And so it's just a back and forth. Carnival's a more upbeat, lively environment. At night, you're going to have several things to look at, from live music to shows to comedy. Royal Caribbean offers a little bit less at night. So, Laura, enjoy that cruise. Don't feel bad for going on it, and let us know what you think. I can't wait to see your review. Post it on our Facebook page when you get back. We can't wait for that. GHJCMO, thank you so much for that super chat. We appreciate it so much. Good evening, Cruise Life TV. It's great to see you here, as so many of us are enjoying our night. I'm going to look up Roger on the lobby. Dream 827, Pat. He's still going to be there. He's going to be there. Lito Tito, he says two words there, Sammy Sosa. I've always been a Sammy Sosa fan, but I will never look at Sammy Sosa or even the Chicago Cubs the same way again. What an unbelievable character of life. Our taxi driver in Aruba, which Aruba was great. We'll get to it. Time's getting away, but we're going fast tonight. We are. Sometimes you just meet people, right? You meet characters that are deserving of songs and poems written after them. And Sammy Sosa was an unbelievable experience. He's just a man, a taxi driver, the bus driver in Aruba. But his personality, his friendship, his positivity, ability to help his guests have fun, it's etched in my mind. My grandpa used to say he's the salt of the earth. Sammy Sosa's salt of the earth, Lito Tito. I know you agree. DJ Showcase, thank you so much for that super chat. We appreciate that so much. We really do. Let me get a drink here. U.S. Army Combat Medic Celebrity is a great cruise line. Really is a great cruise line. We're hoping to sell Celebrity very soon. Trent likes Royal, but always has more fun on Carnival. I think that's a fair feedback from what I've heard. I've always heard Royal Caribbean is really stuffy. Yep. Royal Caribbean is amazing. RG says, not a fan of the Quantum class, but Oasis and Freedom class are amazing. We're excited. I live in Central Arkansas. We're getting the Allure of the Seas, who we sailed by for over 24 hours, side by side, coming back from our most recent trip. I'm ready to see the Allure of the Seas in Galveston and cruise on her very, very soon. We got to get that date locked down. Chef's Table's worth the money for sure. Steakhouse, oh yeah, we're going to talk about that here in just a second. Sailing August 20th on the Carnival Sunshine. You're going to love that, Keith. Good evening to you. You're going to love that Serenity, the big pool, a 3-story water fountain or waterfall. Yeah, you're going to love that. Comedy. Did you all miss William Lee Martin? We did not have William Lee Martin on board, but we will talk about some comedy here in a second. I'm a fan of Holland America. Yeah, GH. I'm a fan of Holland as well, owned by Carnival Corporation. Let's get to some more things. Again, I don't want to miss the chat, but we're trying to get this review underway. We talked about the service. It was great. The Havana experience is the next thing on my list. If you've never cruised, if you've ever cruised Havana, let us know. The Vista class experience, Vista, Horizon, and Panorama. The Havana experience is unmatched. And we splurged. I told Amanda this. The cabin we had, Deck 7, 7450. It was a Havana aft wraparound balcony. Huge balcony. Some of the balconies on the side of the ship, some of the balconies on the back of the ship. The room interior part of it was just huge. I told Amanda, it's all downhill from here. I don't know if we will ever have a nicer room than this right here. It's probably all downhill, but we so enjoyed the Havana experience. Adults only, your own pool, hot tubs. Again, this is Vista class. Mardi Gras doesn't have this. Celebrations, the Celebration's not going to have this. They have Havana, but not the same experience. As David said, the Vista Havana is amazing. The Horizon's a sister ship. It's set up the same way. Splurge on it, especially those longer cruises, the 8-day cruise. Splurge on it. We absolutely loved it. We did. We cruised the Vista November the 5th. 2 cabins, tried to upgrade to Havana. They only have 1 cabin left. Jen, keep watching, especially around final payment time. One of my biggest cruise tips is around final payment time, 90 days out for most cruise lines. Watch as people cancel. They say, you know what, we can't go. You know what, I'm going to move my cruise. You know what, I don't like the protocols. Keep watching. And if you're looking for a particular cabin, a lot of times they will open up around final payment time. So don't give up yet, Jen. Do not give up, okay? JNS, thank you so much. Everyone hit that like button. We would appreciate that so much. We really would. We really would. Let's go here. I need to ask you, what is your favorite specialty dining experience in the cruise industry? You can name a restaurant from any cruise line. It doesn't matter. We, of course, were on Carnival, so we had a Carnival specialty dining experience. What is your favorite dining experience? This is a hit. One of my hits. I was so surprised, as Lito Tito says, teppanyaki, the Dogfather's Barbecue, the Chef's Table. Listen, I was blown away by bonsai teppanyaki. I'd never had it before. It's a hibachi style. 2 tables there on the Horizon. I had filet and lobster, okay, and fried rice. The show was great. The service was great. The appetizers were awesome. But the filet mignon, you guys tell me, because I cruised with a lot of people. Amber says teppanyaki as well. Ocean to Ocean says Fahrenheit. Yep, Moreno and Celebrity. Cucine, Del Capitano, JNS says. The filet mignon that I had at Bonsai Teppanyaki was better than the steakhouse filet. And I've ordered the steakhouse Fahrenheit 555 on Carnival for years and years and years, many, many, many times. I couldn't believe how good that steak was. I told everyone in our group, if I went back, I wouldn't get the lobster. And the lobster was great. I would get the filet. Just give me the filet. It was unreal. Trent says teppanyaki and steakhouse. Lido, better than the steakhouse. He agreed with me. Yep. Teppanyaki. Rodney said cucine from Peggy. So a lot of Italian fans. Yeah, the first bite, Selena, you're exactly right. The filet melted in your mouth. Selena, of course, went with us as well. She went with Rachel. Selena was a first-time cruiser. And if you don't mind, Selena, there's several first-time cruisers on here, people that don't have much cruise experience. Selena, if you don't mind, just write a couple of sentences, 2 or 3 sentences, sharing your experience of cruising for the first time. I know that others would get some appreciation out of it. If I see it, I'll try to read it. But we had a blast, Selena. I know you made it home safe to your family. And hopefully your husband will join you. You said, my husband would love this. Hopefully he joins you. Mike, thank you for asking that. Thank you. Thank you. My brother is doing well. My sister-in-law, that was, oh, man, the toughest thing, I'm telling you, as I think about it now. We were supposed to cruise together, and they had to cancel Wednesday. My sister-in-law had COVID, turned into pneumonia. She's doing okay, but I hate now that I've experienced the trip, Carnival Horizon, 8 days, I just hate it because I know what I experienced, and they need to experience. They need it. They don't get to get off work often. Our schedules don't align often. Thank you so much for asking about my brother. Mike, he's doing okay. But, man, I hate they missed it. I do. So that was a hit. We talked about specialty dining. Do you eat the buffet for dinner? That's my next question. Do you ever eat the buffet for dinner? I know some people you're going to slap my hand. No, you should always eat the dining room. You should always eat specialty dining. Do you ever eat the buffet? Amanda and I ate the buffet. And one thing I loved about the Horizon, they had the squared buffets. You know what I'm saying? There's like 4 stations of squared buffets. I think the lines move faster. I really do. Each station has the same food, but it's just so quick. Amanda and I ate the buffet one night, maybe 2. I was blown away. For many years, we would not eat the buffet because the quality of food I didn't think was that good. It was great. The best mashed potatoes at sea I'd ever had was on the Carnival Horizon. I was surprised Carnival knows how to make some mashed potatoes. And so a lot of people say no, that I don't do it. I'm not telling you to do it, but don't rule it out as an option. If you don't want to go to the main dining room, don't rule it out as an option. Go check it out. We had a great experience. I was thoroughly surprised. I put it on my hits list because it was a hit to Amanda and I. Now, it's not that we thought, oh my gosh, we're going to come here every night. But a lot of times we'd say, okay, we're not going to the main dining room. We'll pick up sushi. We'll go pay for something. We'll go pay and get this. So we'll get room service and pay. We'll have food delivered to us and pay. There's a free option there in the buffet that you might try out. That's why I share it with you for sure. We were very, very surprised. Those squared buffets, Ember says, are so much more efficient. They are. We absolutely love them. We would go through line even at breakfast time. Busy breakfast. You'd have your food in 2 or 3 minutes. I absolutely loved it. I do. I know I'm missing a lot of comments, guys. I'm sorry. Yep, GH says he eats buffet a lot of times when he goes by himself. Going on my first cruise from Port Canaveral and Carnival Liberty to the Bahamas. Super excited to see what it's all about. John, you're going to have a blast. Follow all of us here. If you're not on our Facebook page, be sure to follow that as well. We would love to hear about your experience as you cruise. You're going to have a great time. I promise you that. We did have food delivered to us. Amanda did order on the app. We had the chicken wings that were great. They brought them right to Havana. We had the pizza a couple of times, and so the experience with that was nice. With Carnival, on the Carnival Hub app, you can buy food on there. You take a selfie, they bring it right to you. Usually pretty quick, 10 or 15 minutes. So here we go. That's our hits. The entertainment as well. I have to ask, what is your favorite form of entertainment when you cruise? If it's nighttime, are you going to see live music somewhere? Are you going to a show in the main lounge? Do you want to see the singing and dancing? Is it the comedy that brings you out? What is your favorite form of entertainment? I have to share the Carnival Horizon. I hope you're going on her. The entertainment is plentiful and it's above average. Celestial Strings. I know many of you have seen that show on different ships, Carnival Horizon and others. Celestial Strings was awesome. It was absolutely awesome. I know Coach Cruz, that's one of his favorites. He talks about it a lot. It lived up and surpassed the hype. And, of course, we're big comedy people. We did not have our kids this cruise, and we really enjoyed the comedians. There were 4 on board. We enjoyed 3 of the 4. I'll say there was one we didn't enjoy. I won't share his name, but we did. We enjoyed comedy. They had comedy in the comedy club, of course, the Limelight Lounge. The smaller club, I know it's smaller. You have to get in line 45 minutes in advance. It used to be 30. We always said, it's 30 minutes. We got to go get in line. But now it's 45 minutes in advance if you want a seat. They open the lounge 30 minutes before the show starts, so you can get a drink or 2. And they are still having comedy the last night or 2 in the Liquid Lounge, the Big Theater, and they have back-to-back shows. So I wanted to point that as well. Love and Marriage, Joni says, you're right about that. We love the Love and Marriage show. Bunny and Bill, we got to know Bunny and Bill very, very well. They won. They were the older couple that won the Love and Marriage show. Bill was he was in the Navy and swore that he would never set on water again after he got out of the Navy. He said for 20 years, I never got on water again. And then he said I cruised because his children and grandchildren wanted to cruise. And he said, Derek, I lost 20 years of my life that I could have been cruising with my wife, Bunny. One say piano bar was awesome. Rodney's got a question as well. No testing to testing, ready to be done with it already. What are your thoughts, Rodney? I agree with you. The testing situation it's crazy right now. It's changing every day. Watch your cruise line. We will, of course, bring you the news as well. But I think for the next 4 or 6 weeks, it's going to be bumpy. We're going to see a couple of announcements a week, I would say. And, of course, everyone's putting pressure for 6 and 7 day sailings. I don't think we're there yet. It's going to be in the fall, I think, before they get rid of testing for longer sailings. But just stick to it. Yeah. What do you think about the PNR being connected to 555 Cruise Life TV? We did not eat at the steakhouse. And from what my understanding, I don't know the reason for this, they were not using that on our cruise. And for those of you who don't know what Cruise Life TV is referencing, on some of Carnival's newer ships, the piano bar, the stage can actually turn early in the night, and the pianist will play live music for the steakhouse guest. And then when it gets late night, that stage will turn into the piano bar, and now they're playing, of course, for the piano bar, which is a different vibe and things like that. They weren't doing that on the 65 days, Lee says, until the Carnival Sunshine. You're going to enjoy that. Let's get going with this. The misses, well, I have to mention the itinerary. We'll get to that. The itinerary was awesome. Misses. The ship was crazy crowded. I mentioned it. If we left Havana, you could tell it. I'm a people person, so I didn't mind it. But everywhere we went, we would wait for a show. We would meet new people. We would be on an elevator, which we took the stairs about all the time. People always said, gosh, this ship is full. Oh, my gosh, this ship is crazy. It was crazy. It was full. I'm a people person, so I enjoyed it. And because I had Havana, I had my piece of serenity. You know, I play on words there because there's a serenity, of course, on the ship as well. But I had my oasis, which, again, is another ship. But I had some peace. How about that? I had some peace back there in Havana where I could get away from the crowds, have my own loungers, pools, hot tubs. I enjoyed it. I did. Hey, Ricky, hope you're doing okay. Selling with Sheridan, you got to run. Thank you for joining. Did you all board early since you had a suite? How long was the process, Kevin? We didn't have a suite. We actually had an aft wraparound balcony, but boarding was easy in Miami. It was really, really easy. We went through security, and we were like the first 100 people there for sure. Mike and Michelle were like one of the first 20 ones there. But with check-in, security was easy. We sat there for maybe 30 minutes while the Horizon was still offloading people from the previous cruise, and then we hopped on board very, very easy. Although we had to wait. I forgot about this. Our muster station, we went there right when we got on, and it was like a 30-minute delay. Nobody was there. We went to a muster station, tried to knock it out. Nobody was there, but it was okay. It was. Misses. I talked about crowds. The quality of food in the main dining room and C-Day brunch, I'll be honest with you, as I will always be, they're just not what they were. And some of it may be supply chain issues. I spoke with a couple of maitre d's, the June and July, and they do say that the supply chain is hurting. For instance, Guy's Fries is still the frozen fries. It's not the fresh cut fries that a lot of us know and love. It's the frozen bag of fries with the seasoning that those of us who cruise know and love. But the quality of food is not what it once was. Hopefully it will get better very, very soon. But that was a miss. The steakhouse, we did not have the steakhouse, but Amanda's cousin ate at the steakhouse, and they had a 3-hour experience, just like we had a 3-hour experience in June. They were upset the next day. We waited 3 hours. It wasted our whole night. And they said that we had the same experience in June, but our food was good. I thought the food was still good. But they said they waited 3 hours and the food wasn't good. So take that for what it's worth. I put it on my list as a miss. We only ate at the buffet, Norma says. Yep. How many rooms are in the Havana section on Vista and Horizon Panorama? I would say that there's about interior cabanas and aft balconies. There are probably 80 to 100, I would say, but it's never full. Yep. Oh, what floor are Havana rooms on? Grant, the main floor is 5 aft. There are interiors on 5. There are Havana cabanas on 5, it's a patio. It's not a balcony because your patio does not go all the way to the edge of the ship. And then on 6, 7, 8, and 9, the aft balconies on 6, 7, 8, 9, and the corner balconies, aft wraparound balconies, are all Havana. So 5 has a lot, the most, and then 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep. How's the breakfast buffet? Did it have biscuits and gravy? Kevin, it did. Biscuits and gravy were there. Amanda enjoyed gravy. She puts it on her eggs and her biscuit. It was good. It was. The French toast is one of my favorites. But bacon is still every other day for Carnival, at least as of a couple of days ago. What made the cruise special? I put that on there. First off, we met so many of you islanders who would stop us and say, hey, thanks for doing what you do. We appreciate what you do. That helps make my cruise. It does. When someone says, hey, I appreciate what you do, and anything that makes you feel good. We did a spa day. This was interesting in La Romana. We had something planned, but we had a long day in Aruba. We were there from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. We had a long day in Bonaire. We went to Lac Bay, which was awesome. The windsurfing capital of the world. We stayed on La Romana and did the spa. The spa treatment rooms, you can buy a one-day pass for $45. Amanda and I were literally the only ones in there for about a 3.5-hour session, and it just made our day. Staying on board, having a quiet day, laying in those loungers and the whirlpool and all the steam rooms and saunas and things like that. Life just slowed down a little bit. Everything was quiet. That helped make our cruise special. I'll tell you about the others here in just a second. Yeah, Havana aft balconies, you'll have to rob a bank. I'll tell you this. Upgrade Ferry called me, and I did not pay very much. So if the Upgrade Ferry calls you, if you have a 305 phone call, answer that thing, because I was in an interior cabin and paid like $400 more for. I was not in the Havana interior. I was in a regular interior. For $400 more, I upgraded to a aft wraparound in Havana. So maybe. Sticky buns back. I think they are, Mike. They are. Omelet Station had the best eggs. You're right, Lito Tito. Remember, Omelet Station, you can have an omelet or eggs cooked to order over easy, medium, whatever you want. Steve says Framley. You're exactly right, Steve. Cruising with you and Christy the last 2 months, 2 cruises in 2 months. You guys are family. You really are. I cannot wait to the next one. We were talking about the next one as we were disembarking, of course, from the Horizon. Our PVP said that they had a Havana aft wraparound on deck 7. Yep, we wanted it, but need 2 cabins. Jen, send me a message, Jen, your cruise information. Let me see if I can help there. Okay, I will try. What's the best thing you liked about the Dream when you were on the Dream in June? The Dream was one of my favorite ships. It really is. It's a little bit older in decor, so if you like the new style, light, fresh colors, it's not for you. But the Dream, I've always had good luck at the casino on the Dream, but I've seen her so many times. I would say my favorite thing about the Dream, the entertainment was awesome. We went to almost every show, and the singers especially. I'm not good critiquing dancers, but the singers were really, really good. We enjoyed the entertainment, both in the main shows and just, people playing solo guitar, things like that. The violin trio on the Dream is one of the best in the fleet. So if you're going soon, you're going to get to see that. Last time my wife went to the spa, it cost me $700. Yeah, be careful. Just get the day pass one day, right? Get the treatment room day pass. It's $45 per person. It's cheaper than what we would spend off board, and we had it to ourselves. We did. For upgrades, are you selecting the offers with the upgrade ability within them when you book? No, I've been upgraded the last few times. It's usually a phone call from Carnival, and it's usually about 30 to 45 days before your cruise. If you're cruising 30 to 45 days before, and you get a phone number with a 305 area code, answer that thing. Yep, we paid $1,600 for Havana Cabana. David, that's a great price. It doesn't matter when you're cruising. That is a great price. It really is. Dream has the best spa. Mike, I agree with you 100%. If you want to book a spa cabin, if you're looking for a ship that has a great spa, you need that relaxation, go on the Dream, book a interior or a balcony, suite, whatever you want to do. The Carnival Dream has the best spa and thalassotherapy pool and all of it in the entire fleet. It's broken up in sections. I love it. I do. Speaking of merch, Tracy says, I won trivia a few months ago and never got my surprise. Tracy, send me a message there. We'll see what we can do right there. Well, I thought before we left, Amanda and I tried to get everything up to date. We didn't have much to get out the door. But Tracy, send me a message and let's see what we got going on. If you didn't receive something, we'll send it again. But I'll look and see if it was ordered through Spreadshop. Of course, I can track it that way. So just let me know. Yep. Do they have Texas Hold'em in the casino, Kevin? I'm not a card player. I'm trying to think back to see if I saw that. I know they have electronic style, but I play craps mostly, some roulette. Drink package, is it worth it, John? I'm a heavy drinker, but my guest is a casual drinker. John, you get 15 drinks on Carnival. Royal Caribbean, it's unlimited. But you would both have to purchase on Carnival. Royal Caribbean, you don't have to. I think it's worth it because you get alcoholic and non-alcoholic drinks. On Carnival, you get 15 each, so you get up to 30 drinks together. And you can try things that, I try things that I don't try at home. So I think it's worth it. Yep, I would get it, especially if you can pay for it now. Get it out of the way. It's one less expense that you don't have to have a big question mark in there for. So, yep. Aruba, I have this, what made the cruise special. Sunset sail and snorkel in Aruba. I will share that with you. The blue, if you go to aruba-sailing.com, the Black Pearl in Aruba. If you're going to Aruba and you're staying late for the sunset, just trust me, everyone else that went will confirm this. Aruba-sailing.com, book on the Black Pearl. It was one of the greatest experiences of my life. Please, somebody back me up. I see David just hopped on. I went on this excursion before. It's private. It's not through Carnival. I went on it in 2015, and I was kind of nervous before I went again because I thought, well, I was new to cruising then. Was it just because I was new to cruising, or was this thing really, really good? We went again. Lito Tito, as he says, it was unbelievable. You get to snorkel. It's all-inclusive, so you get drinks. You get to eat the best grilled cheese you're ever going to have. And it's a sailboat, a real sailboat. They have engine as well if they need it, but they try to sail. But the sunsets in Aruba, first off, if you're looking at itineraries and you can't choose which one and the price is close, the dates are the same, if one goes to Aruba, go. The people are awesome. It's easy to get around. It's clean. And if you can be there at night and go on the sunset sail and snorkel with Aruba-sailing.com, the Black Pearl, look it up on TripAdvisor, like 5,000 reviews, a legit 5 out of 5 stars. Not 4.6, not 4.8 like we see so many times, which that's a great score, right? It's a legit 5 out of 5. It is. Question, Jen says, will you ever sell those awesome glasses you made and drink from at times? I want one so bad. Jen, we will. I think I've got 8 of them. If you want one, send me a message. We will pack it up well and hope it gets there. I can't guarantee it gets there because, after all, it is a glass. But I'll sell you one. Yep. Amanda did hoist the sail. I forgot about that, Lito Tito. I'm going to have to hop on there and find a late Aruba sailing. Amber, do it. It was Eagle Beach in Aruba. It's one of the top 7 beaches in the world. Cruise Life TV, thanks so much for that super chat. We appreciate that so much, and thank you for supporting us. But Amber, we went to Eagle Beach during the day for like 4 hours. And it was it was awesome. Yeah, I could have stayed there all day. Then we went back to the ship, had some free drinks because we had cheers. I say free, they were paid for. We ate, and then we went back out. And Sammy Sosa drove us twice, both times, but the sunset sail and snorkel. Aruba is known for the huge orange ball sunsets, right? The big orange ball sinking in the water. That's what Kenny Chesney says. And both times I've been there, that's what it's been. It's unreal. It is. Got a great Carnival deal on my next cruise. That's awesome, Chris. And you got drink packages with your cruise instead of ship credit. That is awesome. It is. It is. let me, and several asked already, I saw what did we do in Bonaire? We went to Lac Bay. I mentioned that. LAC Bay. Carnival alternates. Most of the time, they go to Aruba and Curacao, but sometimes they substitute that in with Bonaire, and Bonaire was awesome. We had a great time in Bonaire. We really did. Let me ask you about this, because the Dominican Republic is in the news today. My daily show today was about the Dominican Republic. We had 2 stops there, La Romana and Ember Cove. We had a blast at Ember Cove. We rode in the natural water slides. I can show you that. It's in Puerto Plata. If you Google natural water slides, there's also cliff jumps. There's 27 of these jumps and slides. We only had time to do 7 of them, but it was an experience. That's not usually my cup of tea, but we jumped one time from 18 feet, and it was a rush. And then just the natural rock slides. It was awesome. Look it up on YouTube. But I wanted to mention that. But the Dominican Republic, they're pushing and making an effort. I talked to our driver there and a few other locals. They're trying to become the cruise capital of the Caribbean. There's signs up across the country saying to support this. To work at this, if you need a job, if you have skills to help out. Dominican Republic they're going to have up to 3 new ports in the next 18 months. They're for sure going to have 2. They've already started on 2. They may have a 3rd. When the other 2 are ready, they're going to be world class. They really are. If you haven't seen the show today, look at it. Port Cabo Rojo is underway. It's going to be a port. The ship comes up to, ties up the ropes, you get off, you go to the beach right there. A lot of us like those types of ports. And Seminar Bayport is going to be awesome as well. They've already started both of those ports. It's going to be neat to see, though. Both of them are scheduled to be completed at the end of 2023, beginning of 2024. Locals there when I was there last week and doing research, of course, when I got back. It's going to be interesting to see when Carnival and others start to list these ports. It may be like mid Q1 next year, so February or March, because they're building it. It's not just in the plans, they're building it. So Cozumel, David says, is the best. It's going to be hard to beat Cozumel. It is, but the Dominican, they're trying. They really are. And one thing about these 2 ports is that the locals are excited about is that they say they're in the pretty part of the island. They said everyone's been coming to Dominican Republic for years and years, and they're going to the ugly part of the island. And I was in Ember Cove, which is beautiful. I love Ember Cove. I'm like, this is the ugly part of the island? Yes, this is the ugly part. So if they're right about that, it's going to be awesome. Pat, did you get bacon on that grilled cheese? If not, you need to, yeah. Pat, they did not have bacon on board. The Black Pearl. They also have the Blue Melody, but we were on the Black Pearl. I wish I did, though, but the grilled cheese was awesome. It really, really was. We still have a celebration, 11/23, hoping the new port might be open by then. Jim, that might be a stretch. I know that Port Cabo Rojo is leading the effort. They will be done by the end of the year. Well, know your 11/23, you should be good, because it's going to be close. It's going to be close. It's going to be done before the end of the year. We'll see. Of course, supply chain issues and things like that may hold it back, but maybe so. Question about Ember Cove. Did you go in the pool at the port? And can you bring your own pool floats? Joni, you can bring your own pool floats. Amanda did just that. She actually used the floats on board in Havana. Amanda was sitting in her floaty chair. If you're interested, I can have her post that chair. We did not go there, though, because we went on the natural water slides, but you can bring your own pool floats, both on board in use and at places like Grand Turk, Margaritaville, and Ember Cove. You can. Do you know when the new Belize port will be open, Mike? I was going to mention the Belize port later on this week. Construction, as far as the foundation, part of that work is going good. It's supposed to be open by the end of 2023. That's last I checked, which has been like 2 or 3 months ago. So I will check on that and try to have an update on that, because that port in Belize is going to be awesome. It really, really is. Yeah, Joni, bring those floats. Bring them. Amanda so enjoyed them. Scroll back down here. And I want to talk about our next cruise. So as of now, our next cruise, Amanda and I both together, is going to be in October. That's killing me. We're going to see if I can sneak on one before then. Maybe take my brother. That's what I'm hoping. We'll see how things go. But we're going Norwegian. Norwegians had an awesome week. They took ownership of the Prima. She looks awesome. She really does. We're excited to cruise. Of course, this was part of the Giving Joy competition that Amanda won. She's one of 100 teachers to be recognized in October. Hopefully her principal lets her off. We'll see. But that's our next scheduled cruise on Norwegian. Norwegian also, they floated out the Viva this week as well. So they've had a really good week. We're going to see those ships in North America soon. Jen, I really want to go to Margaritaville. Just from your tour, we have several cruises booked through 2023, and that's not a port. Oh, no. Margaritaville in Nassau was awesome. If you're going to Nassau, look up that review. You'll love it. Couldn't bring myself to use the pool on the Lido deck on the Vesta. One day, the pool didn't have a yellow didn't have a yellow tint to it. Was the last day. I know exactly what you're talking about. We usually don't. Not fond of those public pools and hot tubs. That's just another reason why we enjoy staying in Havana. It's adults only. I'm not saying it doesn't happen back there, but it's not as crowded. And you feel a little bit better. I mean, most of the time you look around, the hot tub's empty all day. So yeah, we're excited about that. I mentioned NCL. So here we go. The rest of the week, here's what we've got coming for you. Testing news, of course, we're keeping our eyes on. We're going to have a couple of different videos that I've got to work on. Hopefully, I'll have time to this week between my work schedule. It's been a crazy couple of days trying to catch up, but we'll have a room tour of our room on the Carnival Horizon. We'll also have another video for you as well. As David says, hey, Derek, can you let me know if y'all mailed the lanyard yet? We did yesterday. I think we had your order that we didn't get to and two others. Glad to have you back. We'll get those. You should get those lanyards this week, David. So, and of course, you're entered in to our giveaway. You have a few minutes here for super chats if you want to get in on that giveaway. We'll give that out tomorrow on our show. What port is the Prima at? William said she's going to be at several different ports. She's going right now. She's in Europe. She will come over and she has one cruise out of New York City. Then she comes to Galveston. And she has Amanda's special 4-day cruise, and then I think an 8 or 9 day out of there. Then she goes to Port Canaveral, and she's going to rotate, really. But she will have a stint and come back to Galveston, which we're excited about. They're testing the waters in Galveston to see if the port there, the economy, can handle another cruise ship. There's already a lot there in Galveston. I think they can. Lido Tito, we thank you so much for that. He says that is from Michelle. We appreciate it. Beckett is here. Beckett, we missed you. Did you miss Mom and Dad on that cruise?
Yeah.
You wanted to go, didn't you? Guess what? You're going next year. On what ship? Do you know? The Carnival Vista. Carnival Vista. Yep. Everyone's saying hello to you. You're going next March, so you'll have fun, right? You're excited about it? Oh, it's been a lot to catch up on. I need to mow the yard. There's Mr. Steve. Thank you, Steve, so much for that super chat. We appreciate that. Trent, I forgot about that. Trent sails on the Prima from Port Canaveral March the 23rd. Trent, totally forgot about that. You're going to love it. I'm going to get off here, and it's 9 o'clock. I got to catch up on some Big Brother. Does anyone else watch Big Brother? I've got to catch up on some Big Brother, and I've got to play with Beck. We had baseball practice last night, didn't we? You hit the ball pretty good. Guys, I hope you have a great week. We're going to keep you updated. I appreciate all your support, all of you for being here, watching the show, being involved, the super chats, the whole 9 yards. We just surpassed 11,300 subscribers. It blows my mind. And Beckett always says, it's pretty cool to have a dad that's on YouTube. You do say that, don't you? And Beckett, what happened to you today? A big thing happened to Beckett. Do you remember? What happened to your mouth?
I lost my tooth.
He lost his second tooth. Maybe he'll get some money. You think so?
Yeah.
Oh, we'll see if the tooth fairy comes by. I don't know. Maybe so. No, he's not going to while we're up here. We all know that. Oh, goodness. That's right. Tooth fairy is coming. Great show tonight. Beckett, I'm going to let you lead us out here as we tell everybody goodbye. We'll see you the rest of the week right here
On Island Time.
You always do such a good job.